Here's something that might sound backwards. The highest earning salespeople I've coached and known aren't the ones that say yes to everything. They're the ones who've mastered the art of saying no, so they can say hell yes to the things that actually move the needle. If you're crushing your quota month after month, there's probably something that's happening that you might be noticing. Suddenly, everyone wants a piece of you. Marketing wants you on their advisory committee, your manager wants you to mentor the new hires, other departments just want you to join their quick projects, and prospects want to meet at 7 p.m. or 9 p.m. because that's the time that's convenient for them. And here's the trap. Because you're successful, you feel like you should be able to handle it all. After all, you're the one bringing in the revenue, right? You're the star performer. Shouldn't you be able to juggle everything? But here's one thing I've learned. Your success isn't happening because you're doing everything. It's happening because you're exceptional at the things that matter the most. And the moment you start diluting that focus, you're not just risking burnout, you're risking the very excellence that got you here in the first place. Let me paint a picture for you that might feel familiar. You close a big deal and suddenly your phone is buzzing nonstop. Your manager wants to know if you can take on the strategic accounts that the struggling rep can't handle. Marketing wants you to be the face of their new case study. The CEO wants you to present the board about what's working in sales. Each request feels important. Each one of these feels like a recognition of your success. And here's the kicker, they probably are important. And they probably are a recognition of your success. But here's what nobody tells you. Every yes to these requests is a no to something else. It's a no to prospecting. It's a no to nurturing your pipeline. It's a no to the deep relationship building that closes those deals. It's the no to the strategic thinking that keeps you ahead of your competitors. I had a client who's been the top performer at her company for the last 3 years. She was closing deals left and right, and management kept adding to her plate. She's our closer, she can handle all different types of clients. Oh, she should also train the new team. Within 6 months, she went from top performer to barely hitting 80% of her quota. Not because she lost her skills, but because she lost her focus. She was doing everything except the activities that made her successful in the first place. Now, I know what you're thinking. But I can't just say no to my manager. Or what if they don't think I'm a team player? Or what if this opportunity never comes again? These fears are real and they're valid. But let me share something with you that might shift your perspective. The people who are asking you to do more things, they're asking you because you're valuable. Your value isn't just going to disappear if you start protecting your time strategically. In fact, here's what I've seen. When high performers start setting boundaries intelligently, they become more valuable. Why? Because they're seen as someone who thinks strategically about their time and their energy. They're seen as someone who understands what drives results. Think about it this way. Would you rather work with a salesperson who says yes to everything and delivers mediocre results? Or someone who carefully chooses their commitments and delivers exceptional results on whatever they deliver? So here's the framework that I share with clients. I call it the strategic no. And it has 3 components. First, acknowledge the value. Never start with the no. Start by acknowledging why the request matters. Like, oh, I can see why this project is important for the company's growth. I appreciate you thinking of me for this opportunity, but this sounds like it could have a real impact. Second, connect to the bigger picture. This is where you demonstrate strategic thinking. Given that Q4 is make or break for our annual numbers, I want to make sure I'm as strategic as possible with my time. Or I'm looking at this through the lens of where I can add the most value to our overall objectives. Third, offer alternatives. This is crucial. You're not just saying no, you're being a problem solver. I think this project would be perfect for someone who's looking to develop their strategic skills. Have you considered Mike? Or I can't take this on fully, but I can provide some insights here and there. Or even, let me suggest someone who would be great for this. Now, here's what most people I work with get it wrong. They try to set boundaries retroactively, but the most successful people I work with, they have proactive boundary conversations. Notice what's happening here. You're not complaining, you're not making demands, you're positioning this as a strategic conversation. You're speaking their language, results, and contribution. Now let's talk boundaries with prospects and clients, because this is where most people struggle the most. I know I did early on. You want to be accommodating, you want to show that you're willing to go the extra mile, but there's a difference between excellent service and people walking all over your time. Here's a conversation I had with a client just last month. He was telling me about a prospect who kept asking for meetings at 6 a.m. because that's the only time that he was available. The prospect would reschedule at the last minute, ask for a proposal that was definitely outside of the scope that they were talking about, and demand immediate responses to non-urgent emails. My client was bending over backwards to accommodate all of these things. But here's what was actually happening. He was training the prospect to not respect his time. And prospects who don't respect your time, they rarely turn into clients who value your service. Here's how we reframed it. I understand your schedule is challenging. Let me suggest a few times that would work well for focused conversations about your objectives. I find that when we can have uninterrupted time to really dive into your challenges, we can create much more value together. I want to make sure that I'm creating a proposal that is truly aligned with your needs, rather than me making assumptions. Can we schedule 30 minutes to clarify the specific outcomes you're looking for? Notice the shift here? Instead of saying, I can meet you at 6 a.m., he's positioning it as better value for the client. Instead of saying, stop asking for random proposals, he's positioning it as ensuring relevance and focus. Here's something crucial that I want you to understand. Setting boundaries isn't about being difficult or uncooperative. It's about being professional and strategic. And in sales, the long game always wins. When you protect your high value activities, you maintain the excellence that got you noticed in the first place. When you set clear expectations with prospects, you attract the kind of clients who value what you do. When you have strategic conversations with your manager about priorities, you demonstrate business thinking that gets you considered for bigger opportunities. I've had clients who work 70-hour work weeks and are stressed out about everything. Today, they're working 50-hour work weeks, making more money and getting promoted. The difference, they got strategic about their yes and powerful with their no. So here's what I want you to do. This week, I want you to identify 3 things. First, what are 2 or 3 activities that drive the biggest results? For most salespeople, this is prospecting or relationship nurturing and strategic deal advancements. Write these down. These are your non-negotiables. Second, what are the time drains that seem important but actually don't move your numbers? This might be low-value meetings, projects outside your expertise, or accommodating prospects who aren't serious buyers. Third, who in your professional ecosystem needs to understand your boundaries better? This might be your manager, certain colleagues, or even some prospects and clients. Now, pick one person from that third list and schedule a boundary conversation this next week. Use the framework that we talked about. Acknowledge value, connect to a bigger picture, and offer alternatives. Here's the last thing that I want to leave you with today. And this might be the most important of all. Your ability to set boundaries is directly connected to your confidence in your own value. When you really know that you bring exceptional value to your role, your prospects, to your organization, saying no becomes easier. Not because you don't care about helping people, but because you understand that protecting your ability to deliver that exceptional value is actually the most helpful thing that you can do. You're not just a salesperson who accommodates every request. You're a strategic professional who understands business objectives, maximizes opportunities, and delivers results. The people who matter most in your career, they want you to think that way. So here's your challenge. This week, practice saying no to one thing that doesn't actually align with your highest value activities. Practice saying yes to protecting your time and energy that make you exceptional. Your future self and your bank account will thank you. Thank you for watching my video today. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to my channel and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any future sales tips.